So Terrell Pryor and four other starters, as well as a fifth member of the Ohio State football team, will be suspended for the first 5 games next season for selling, jerseys and pants and receiving improper benefits, totaling, to $1,000 to $2,500. This is a big hit for Ohio State. This was a pretty clean program, and it still is a clean program. I'm not questioning what Jim Tressel's doing for the Buckeyes. But to have Pryor in his senior season suspended for the first 5 games, I mean, he was probably a top 3 Heisman candidate heading into next season. That's just a huge hit for this team. And my first thing when I saw this was, how are they allowed to play in the bowl game? If I'm Arkansas fans, I'm going nuts. I'm going ballistic. These kids get caught doing this stuff. They're allowed to play in the bowl game, but not suspended until next season. I mean, I don't understand it. If anything, I'd figure they would be suspended for the bowl game and able to play next season. But what do I know? It seems like the NCAA has 600 different rules, when it comes to improper benefits. But back to the Pryor thing. This is a huge hit, not only to his Heisman hopes, not just to Ohio State's national title hopes, but also his pro status. What is he going to do from here? I wouldn't be surprised if he just says, screw it, I'm going to jump to the NFL after this season. I'm going to miss 5 games. By the time I'm into game action, by the time I'm in the flow of things, it's going to be the 9th, 10th game of the season. Ohio State season could be a waste next season. I don't necessarily know how they look at their backup quarterback, how good he is, what he's capable of doing. But I do know that Pryor was going to be, I thought he was going to have he had a good year this year, but I thought he was going to have a better year this year. And next year, I thought he was even going to make a bigger jump and become that elite quarterback that we all thought he was going to be. And now, he's going to miss the first 5 games of the season. I'm not sure if Tressel and the Buckeyes will try to appeal this or not, or even if they can appeal it. I'm sure if they can, they're going to try. What do you really have to lose? But like I said, this is a major hit to the Ohio State football team. This is a major hit to Terrell Pryor and his winning a Heisman Trophy and his draft status. Is he going to be able to show enough in just 7, 8 games to really boost his draft status? And like I said, he's going to be playing in 7 or 8 games, but is he going to be up to speed with things? Just jumping in on the 6th game of the season? I don't think he will be. He starts slow even when he plays in the first couple of games of the season. So what is he going to do when he misses the first 5 games? It's crazy. And again, like I said, I don't know how they're able to play in the Sugar Bowl against Arkansas, but yet they're suspended for 5 games. And next season, I don't get it. Again, into Pryor, come on, you're trying to help your mom out. She can't wait another year or two until you're a multi-millionaire in the NFL. All this over $2,500. It just seems a little bit ridiculous to me. All right, next up, I want to talk about anytime you're sitting around with your friends and the argument comes up, best athletes in the world. Everyone argues it. It's an argument really that I don't even like to take part in anymore because I just get so furious and upset. I want to punch the kid sitting next to me that doesn't think the NBA has the best athletes in the world. I know NFL players are great athletes and soccer players are great athletes and whatever other sport you could possibly think of. But the NBA supplies us with world-class talent, with world-class athleticism. Blake Griffin, LeBron James, Dwight Howard. Are you kidding me? There are not athletes of that stature in the NFL. I'm sorry, there's just not. If you watch the top plays on ESPN every night, half of them are usually NBA dunks. These guys are unbelievable. The moves J.R. Smith have been making lately, the dunk and then the 360 layup. These players are just unbelievable. They are freak athletes. And I'm not open to any arguments on it, Am I biased? Am I a homer? No. I just really am I just feel that strongly that the NBA has the best athletes in the world. And like I said, anytime this argument comes up, it always gets so heated between the NBA and the NFL guys that I just want to punch the NFL guys in the face. It's ridiculous. The NBA has the best talent, the best athletes in this world, period. I'm not discussing it anymore. I said I would discuss it one time on the blog. Here it is, the first annual Daily JG Live. I'm discussing it, and that's it. End of story. Let's move on to another NBA thing. At the end of each and every month, I'm going to start giving my top 20 NBA players. I have a dream of becoming a very notable, noteworthy journalist, and then getting a little fool of myself like a Khan did and becoming an NBA general manager. Now, I plan to be a little better than David Kahn and, not draft 2 point guards with back-to-back lottery picks. Better yet, not draft 2 point guards that aren't even worthy of a lottery pick back-to-back. But what I'm going to do with these 20 players, I'm going to run down the list. And starting today, I'm going to do 5 players for the next 4 days. And I judge these players on a bunch of different things. Overall skill set, like a LeBron, just a sick all-around player. Age, upside. I'm really high on point guards these days with so many tremendous point guards in the league. So those are some things I look at. Now remember, this isn't if I was drafting a team for one season how I'd rank them. Because obviously guys like Paul Pierce, Steve Nash would make the list. But this is kind of based on the future and kind of based on now. You could say probably 50-50. So you won't see those guys on the list. Starting with number 20, I have Chris Bosh. And you might think, maybe he should have been a little higher up on the list. I'm not 100% sold on Bosh. He played in Toronto where he was always in the spotlight, He was the go-to guy. They didn't have anyone else to score. So, of course, he was going to go out and get 20 and 10 every game. He was the only player they had. It was easy for him to look like a superstar in Toronto because his supporting cast was so bad. Because basketball in Toronto right now, or then, even then, I guess, when Bosh was on the team, no one took that seriously. No one took the Raptors seriously. They weren't a playoff team. So I just think it was easy for Bosh, to shine there. And he got off to a pretty slow start in Miami. And I know the whole entire Heat team did get off to a slow start. And they're finally, starting to pick it up a little. But I'm just not sold on Bosh being a top 10, top 15 player yet. He's a great rebounder. He can shoot the basketball, 20 to 22 feet sometimes. He can even go behind the arc and knock down threes, which is a plus. I like a big guy that can definitely knock down, deep jumpers. But at the same time, I just question his strength. I just question his, rebounding ability against a team that has a big interior presence. Coming in at number 19, I have Eric Gordon. This might be a little bit of a surprise to some people, but Gordon is averaging around